Hi, I'm Joe Connolly with producer Neil A. Carousso. I may be smiling even more than usual today because we can't wait to tell you about this business because it's a very fun business. For the customers, it is anyway. I want you to meet Steve Gentile, owner of Adventureland Amusement Park in Farmingdale, Long Island, which was founded 60 years ago in the 1960s. Steven's heart was broken, though, early in the pandemic when he had to lay off some employees or cut some employees' pay. Steve, how's it going today?
We have bounced back, as many industries have bounced back. We made some changes as that we had to make during the pandemic, and we kept a lot of those changes, and it's for the better. Some of those changes for our business was for the better, but getting to this point where we are today, like you said before, was it was brutal. It was a
What are
brutal.
some of those changes that you've made that you will keep?
We were always, for the longest time, forever, we were a pay-as-you-go park. If you wanted to ride on the rides, you would pay to go on the rides. If you brought your children here and you wanted it, and you were not going on the rides, you would just walk through the park. And if you were just coming to hang out with your friends, you would just walk in the park. We were forced to do that when we had to do contact tracing. We had to charge everyone that came into the park, quote unquote, admission park. So as we moved along and we saw what we were doing, we kept it. We kept the admission park. So now each and every person, whether you are a parent or a grandparent coming into the park, whether you think you're going to come and hang out and just get a hot dog, we turned ourselves into an admission park, and it does a couple of things. We're learning, as much as the public doesn't think so, it's a safer environment. The public is telling us that. We are okay with the admission park. In the very beginning, it was a very big obstacle for us, but now they're liking it more so because the people that are here inside the park want to be here. The people that are paying to get in this park want to be here, and they feel safer because of that reason. They have people that really want to be here to experience and enjoy the park rather than people just coming in to hang out. Our complaints are gone. There's no negativity in the park.
Isn't that
Everybody's in a
interesting?
happy mood. Everybody's in a happy mood. So we look at it as a good move. Obviously, financially, it's a good move because now we're capturing everybody that comes in the park. We see a different morale in the park from our guests, even our employees, because now our employees aren't checking to make sure that everybody that's going on the ride has a ticket or a bracelet that we use here. They don't have to do it so much, and they're not fighting with the parents. Some of the parents that would try to just go on the ride without having a ticket. So the kids that we have working here, our over 700 full part-time employees are predominantly young adults, and they are not fighting. They're not fighting with the public and the parents, and it makes them happier, and they convey that positiveness to the guests, and our guests seem like they're in a better mood. They want to be
Can
here.
you tell yet if it will hurt revenues or increase revenues?
This project or this thing forcing us to do this is better revenues.
Amazing.
Yeah,
One other question before Neil has his questions too. As I look at this, the rides and the equipment must be tremendously expensive. How do you compete and handle those kind of costs, Steve?
well, it's planning. It's a lot of planning, which we do, like any business does. Whether you're a deli owner, or a bagel owner, a pizza or a place owner, or a car dealership, or an amusement park, everybody plans out their year. You plan out your dollars and cents, and you know what your needs are. And our needs, obviously, are amusement rides. And yeah, when you try to explain to somebody, which is a good reason why you can go to the admission park, because we're giving you a first class product here, as any amusement park does. And we're trying to give you a first class product, which we feel we are. We're giving you a safe business, which I feel we are, and a happy place to enjoy with your kids. So when you tell somebody that kiddie ride that you're going on, that is so-called a kiddie ride that you can go on with your child, is anywhere north of $300,000, $500,000 for a kiddie ride, they're like dumbfounded. I said, these are the prices on some of this in here. A bench, you're sitting on a bench, a $1,200 bench. Grandma and grandpa, come on, who's paying for that bench? And you have multiple benches. I mean, the bench idea and all the other stuff may sound frivolous, but it adds up. It's part of running the business, and change is good sometimes. Sometimes it's not. In this instance, it was painful to do it back during the pandemic. Now we kept it, and it's fruitful.
Neil.
So, Steve, when I was preparing for this conversation we had today and thinking about your business, I was thinking, going to an amusement park growing up was so much fun. It was a day trip. It was something to do. We didn't have all these entertainment options that kids have today. So thinking about that, I mean, when you're competing with this every day, what do how do you market to kids?
You know what? I just said this, I think, this past week. You have to, like I said before also, we give something unique here, and is kids love rides. Kids love to do stuff with either their friends and mom and dad do it with their kids. So when you come here to our park or any park, the adults become kids. We're delivering quality, safety, more ways than one. You're safe in the park. You're safe on the rides, and you're in a safe environment. And when you give all that stuff in the park to an experience, and when you hear, I know we're doing something right, is when you are standing next to a ride and you hear screams. Screams, that tells us that we are succeeding in what we're doing. The kids are going on their rides, and it's happy screams. I know everybody's different. Oh, kid's screaming, he's crying. These are happy screams when I'm talking about. And it's just, I remember, you bring somebody here, you bring my other brother who's not involved in the business here, and he's like, oh, it's so loud over here. I don't know how you do it. I go, what's loud? That's beautiful stuff. That's wonderful stuff that you hear kids screaming in our business, that they're having fun.
That's great. That's funny. Never heard that before.
Your brother complains it's loud. What does he expect?
Because he's a dentist.
He's a dentist. It's loud in the dentist. What are the most popular rides that are getting those screams? Are they the old ones, or are there new rides that you have?
All of them. And the newspaper the other day was here to take a peek at our new ride, the Fireball roller coaster. She asked me, how do you know, are they accepting the ride? Is it well received? And these kids were screaming, like they were screaming going down the whole ride. I said, you hear that? Now I know we made the right decision. When I hear that, that tells me we made the right decision. So, and then it's on every ride. You get the kids on, or whether it's the old, because there's always new kids coming up. There's always new children coming into the park, and they always have to go through the evolution of the rides. They start on the kiddie rides, they go to the middle rides, they go to the bigger rides, and it's the circle of life, the circle of an amusement park.
You really market to the parents, though, right, Steve? Or no?
Yeah, you got to market to the moms. The mom is the one that's making the decision where to spend their entertainment dollar. So when they end up, when we hit the moms, and the moms are coffee club, or they're talking with the kids, or at work doing at lunch or at the water cooler, they are talking about their experience at the park. We need to convince mom that we are delivering a safe product here for them, and that they can entertain their kids in a safe environment. And I think we're doing that. We've been doing it as a family since 1979, but the park has been here since 1962. So it's a compliment to Long Island. I say thank you to Long Island. It's a compliment to us that we're able to do it for that many years.
Neil, one more. Come on,
That's
you don't
amazing.
get a chance to talk to an amusement park operator very often.
Yeah, we could talk to you forever. Let me ask you about any of these pivots. I see that you have done a lot of different services to stay alive during COVID. Are any of these permanent services now, or have you moved away and back to pre-pandemic?
When I couldn't stand that word pivot, because we were pivoting into things that we didn't know how to do. We pivoted into the movies, into the movie of outdoor movies. We pivoted into concerts. We pivoted to anything that anybody wanted to do outdoors in our parking lot, because our parking lot is big enough but small enough to create a stage atmosphere. And we had a stage set up in the back, so they can do exercise classes. They can do like I said, movies, concerts, graduation ceremonies. They were doing graduation ceremonies in the park. There were so many other things that we were doing, but now I like the word pivot because of what I said before, is that we had to pivot, and we had to pivot ourselves back then to an admission park, and that pivot stayed. So it worked out for us in the long run, but it was a rough experience. It was a rough experience. I know it was a rough experience for a lot of people, and I don't mean to compare business to life, because unfortunately, we lost some family members in our world, and I'm sure there are other people out there that lost family members due to the COVID. But besides trying to take that element out, and now you talk about business, it was a horrible experience. That, as being a family business as we are, we would talk about it all the time. You were talking about a Friday night pizza. You were talking about it at having a bowl of pasta and meatballs on a Sunday dinner. And you're trying to say, what are we going to do to figure this out? They're not letting us open the entire season. We were shut for one full season. How are we going to do this? We laying these guys off that have been with us for 25 plus years. They're part of our family, blood family. So it was a tough experience. And it's funny because my brother was speaking with somebody the other day about a recession, and he nailed it on the head. If we can get through a pandemic with not being open, I think Adventureland will handle a recession.
That's the good way to put it, and it's just great to talk to you. When I was a kid, I thought the dream job that I wanted to have, I bet you hear this a lot, was I wanted to work in a carnival. I thought that was about the best. Are the kids like that? Do they like to work there now?
I'm going to tell you that our family is very, very lucky. I get to work with my brother, my 3 kids, my brother-in-law, 2 cousins, people that have been working, I said before, working with us for over 20 to 25, 30 years. I say sometimes how lucky we are that we can have such a family unit in the park. And it's just, I look forward to coming in every day. I quote the words of Jeff, Amazon leader. I skip into the office every day.
That's great. I'm sure you have a lot of people skipping around for joy every day among your customers. Great to talk to you, Steve. Have a great season.
Thank you very much, and thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it.